It is a wicked weather Wednesday across central and eastern Kentucky. Thunderstorms and 60s in the rearview mirror. We'll look ahead toward snowy conditions coming up.
You arrested me for no reason, sir. And look how they treat me, sir.
What investigators say led to this outburst in a Fayette County courtroom that was caught on tape.
A crash nearly took her life a few years ago. How a Pulaski County teenager is now using that experience to help others.
This is WKYT News at 6.
Good evening to you. Tonight, temperatures are taking a big tumble and rain will begin turning to snow. It's a WKYT First Alert Severe Weather Day.
Also, strong winds will be another factor tonight. We begin with our chief meteorologist, Chris Bailey. He shows us what he's tracking on the First Alert Defender Network. Chris?
Yeah, starting to get that transition over to snow now into parts of central Kentucky. You mentioned the winds. We've had gusts today, 40 to 45 miles an hour. Had some 50-plus miles per hour gusts into southeastern Kentucky. Look at our live sky cam. It is dancing all over the place. We're looking out across Hamburg Pavilion. If you look there in the distance, if you can focus on that, you can see Old Glory kind of flapping in the wind there. Let's see what the gust is up to now. 32. Last hour we were at 43, so at the top of this hour we're down just a little bit. But look at the thermometer, down to 40 as well. Feels like it is 29 degrees. 37 Danville, 37 Somerset, into Monticello. So it's colder to our southwest. That's where the cold is coming from. Still 50s into eastern Kentucky. Say goodbye to that. Your Defender radar network is indeed now beginning to pick up on that transition over from rain to some light snows across sections of central Kentucky from around Mercer County, western Boyle County. Getting some reports now out of Casey County, Campbellsville, and down toward Columbia, Russell Springs, and Monticello into Wayne County of some wet snowflakes beginning to mix on in. And that's with that backlash moisture that is rotating around our storm system. So rain changes to snow through 8 o'clock into parts of central Kentucky. Air temperatures will likely stay above freezing. Surface temperatures are above freezing, so it's a lot of melting snow. But you see that stuff into parts of Indiana. That's going to kind of work its way toward the southeast into central and eastern Kentucky later tonight and tomorrow morning. And that's a textbook picture, guys, of an area of low pressure spinning around across the Ohio Valley. When I come back in just a few minutes, we're going to talk about the potential for a little slushy snowfall into parts of central and eastern Kentucky.
Thanks, Chris. And remember, you can track snow and rain along with the latest traffic with the WKYT Weather Plus Traffic app. You can download it for free in the app or Google Play stores. A courtroom outburst caught on tape. A man began screaming at a Fayette County judge moments after being arrested.
It all started after the Fayette County Sheriff's deputies say 25-year-old Anthony Beard showed up at their office for a summons, but they arrested him after finding out he was wanted. When deputies brought him into a courtroom, they say this case took an unusual turn. Victor Puente has our top story at 6.
Anthony Beard Jr. was in court facing charges of assault and violating a domestic violence order. But what happened once he got here led to several new charges. His arrest warrant says Beard came to the Fayette County District Courthouse to answer a summons for a domestic violence assault. Deputies say once he got there, they discovered he had a warrant out for his arrest for violating an emergency protective order. The deputy says Beard tried to sneak out of the building, but was put in cuffs and taken to the courtroom. Once in sight of Judge Joseph Bevere, Beard had plenty to say.
Judge Bevere, sir, you arrested me for no reason, sir. And look how they treat me, sir. This is wrong, sir. I ain't got no warrant for my arrest, sir. Doggone it, sir. This is wrong, sir. And I ain't doing nothing. I'm just talking in your courtroom, sir. Because you said I want a warrant. That you didn't have no control of, Mr. Bevere, sir.
In the video, you can hear Beard continue to argue with bailiffs once he leaves the courtroom. His arrest citation says one of the bailiffs involved got a cut to his knee and a bruised cheek. That day, he got several new charges, including resisting arrest, disorderly conduct, and third-degree assault of a police officer. Beard will be back here in court March 1st. In Lexington, Victor Puente, WKYT.
Beard is being held on a more than $10,000 bond. $8,000 of that stems from the charges connected to the courtroom. Lexington police have arrested a man wanted for a deadly shooting outside a strip club. Police say they found 24-year-old Clarence Taylor early this morning, hours after obtaining a warrant for his arrest. He's charged with murder. Police say Taylor shot 23-year-old LaRoz Mitchell during a fight last Friday morning outside Camelot East on Richmond Road. Mitchell's friends say he'll be missed.
He had so much potential that was taken, you know what I mean? He could have been so many things, and it just got robbed, and it's just not fair.
Mitchell leaves behind a 3-year-old daughter. Taylor did not want to talk to us from jail today.
It is a very popular event at the University of Kentucky that helps children battling cancer. Dance Blue will be held this weekend on campus, but this year it comes as the university is dealing with a cluster of mumps cases on campus. Today, UK held a mumps vaccination clinic, and as Caitlin Settner tells us, UK wants to make sure that no one coming to Dance Blue gets sick.
My mom was more worried than I was because she got the news and she called me to make sure that I was okay.
3 students were confirmed to have mumps while many others have shown symptoms. Nick Conley says students have been calm.
Yeah, pretty much. We're just going with the flow.
But the university is taking action following the outbreak on campus. Wednesday, University Health Services held a clinic where the MMR vaccine was available.
The clinic held its hours today to make sure any concerned students could get vaccinated.
I thought it'd be a good precautionary measure, and also our moms told us to just go ahead and get it.
I just thought it'd be a fun way to spend a Wednesday afternoon. Just kind of here for support.
Health officials say although the vaccination isn't 100% effective, it is the best form of prevention.
They told us to make sure we wash our hands and make sure not to get in close contact with people that were sick.
A similar message has been sent to students taking part in this weekend's Dance Blue event on campus. The 24-hour dance marathon raises money to fight childhood cancer. An email sent this week to participants urged anyone who has been sick or anyone who has been in contact with a person having a swollen throat in the last 3 weeks not attend the event to protect the health of children who may be in attendance with a weakened immune system. In Lexington, Caitlin Settner, WKYT.
Also, students who were not able to make it to campus during that 2-hour window today can still receive a mumps vaccine by appointment.
They say they don't deserve to lose their jobs. Tonight, 5 suspended Paris police officers are giving their arguments as a hearing in their case continues. The city's police chief wants to fire them, claiming the officers were spending too much time at the dispatch center when they could have been patrolling. Garrett Weimer has the latest.
The hearing started at 3 and it picked up right where they left off on Monday. The police officer's attorney cross-examining Police Chief Rob Williams. We also expect to hear from the officers themselves. 8 hours of testimony Monday, 3 hours today, and still more to come. We again saw surveillance video from inside the dispatch center. Attorneys for the officers continued cross-examining the chief. They claim the firings are retaliation and tried to prove that he already made up his mind to fire the officers before even giving them notice of the charge. But the hearing frequently turned tense. The chief's attorney argued and the city's attorney presiding agreed. That's not relevant to whether or not the officers violated policies and should be fired.
Why don't we just move on to questions that are relevant to this proceeding?
I am, sir.
I don't believe you are. So we would like to stop this line of questioning.
If this doesn't wrap up soon, we're told we'll break for dinner and then get right back at it after that. In Paris, Garrett Weimer, WKYT.
Over the last few days, the hearing has become the talk of Paris. Many people we asked around town today said they support the officers, but they didn't want to go on camera for fear of retaliation. They do not think the officers did anything wrong.
It's not like they were taking money or, doing backdoor deals for, I mean, that's not what these officers were. I mean, they were 100% stand-up officers that did their job, put their life at risk, and they deserve more respect.
Now, a few people we talked to off camera in Paris told us today that they did agree with the officers' suspensions.
It's been nearly 3 years since a young Pulaski County girl nearly died in a car crash. The community rallied around Jaden Jasper, who was 12 at the time. Many people have called her recovery remarkable. And since the crash, a popular concert that comes to Rupp Arena every year has become a big part of her story. Phil Pendleton explains in a story that's new at 6.
This is the spot where Jaden Jasper's life changed.
The way I look at it, the car accident wasn't something tragic that happened to me. It helped me because it brought me closer to God, and it helped me to reach out and help other people.
That day in early March 2013 was when Jasper almost died when she was in a wreck with her father on Pump House Road in Somerset. In a coma for 11 days at UK Hospital, she missed the popular Winter Jam concert, yet a band called Sidewalk Prophets heard her story and paid a visit.
All stood around my bed and sung Amazing Grace a cappella, and they visited with our family and prayed over me.
A year later, she finally got to attend Winter Jam.
Gotta give you a good God answer. She's here tonight. She's fine.
But the crowd of 20,000 gave her a standing ovation. And this past weekend, she was again back at Winter Jam, where the same band that prayed for her 3 years before had a special surprise.
And for me to be able to go backstage and meet them and stuff, it's awesome.
She got to meet other performers who all say they're encouraged by her story of triumph from near tragedy.
It's like maybe they'd see my story and write about something that people like me overcome.
It's been a long and difficult road for Jaden. Her father is now serving a prison sentence in the wake of the DUI he was charged with from the crash. So she's starting a new ministry to help other kids with parents suffering from addictions.
Well, we came up with the idea that there's more people in my situation where I was.
Knowing that even in the darkest times, there's always a light shining. In Pulaski County, Phil Pendleton, WKYT.
And what a great heart she has. Jaden says that she's been able to share her story with many churches around the state.
State health leaders have a warning tonight about the cost of Kentucky's expanded Medicaid program, what they're concerned about in 7 minutes.
Our powerhouse of a winter storm in the Ohio Valley, bringing all kinds of weather to the Bluegrass State. Up next, we'll show you why the colder air is coming in from the south. We'll explain in a moment.
To play on the floor at Rupp is special. To do it to bring awareness for a fellow firefighter makes it even more significant. WKYT goes to Chicago to talk with a Lexington fireman battling cancer. A Fireman's Fight, Thursday at 6 on WKYT.
I could get used to this.
Now you can, when you lease the 2016 ES350 for $349 a month for 36 months. See your Lexus dealer.
When it comes to your heart, there's one team that's leading the way to better care in the area: Baptist Health. Our team exceeds national standards for heart attack care and has been recognized with top quality ratings for cardiac surgery. From clinical research trials to advanced imaging and surgical options, our heart specialists provide nationally recognized comprehensive care. Right here at Baptist Health.
Change is taking root in Frankfort. We need a voice that'll be heard. Daniel Elliott is the conservative for Boyle and Casey counties. Dedicated to protect our God-given freedoms from Obama liberals, Daniel will ensure government is held accountable and our Kentucky values are protected. Daniel Elliott will fight government overreach that's crippled our economy. We need a strong voice. On Tuesday, March 8th, vote Daniel Elliott for state representative.
Did your family set a goal to become healthier in the new year? One family did and lost 300 pounds at Ageless. Bruce lost 92 pounds, Adam lost 64 pounds, and Catherine lost 151 pounds. For a medically supervised, affordable weight loss solution, call Ageless today for a free consultation.
Man, these wings look good.
Yeah, this spicy honey barbecue sauce is so good, it'll change your life.
Sir, it looks like we're leading in the polls.
You're running for president?
Don't answer that.
Life-changing? Maybe. Indescribably good? Definitely. The boneless wings meal with spicy honey barbecue sauce, served with crinkle fries and a small drink. Zaxby's. Indescribably good.
Attention! Green's Toyota of Lexington is having a sale so big it can only happen every 4 years. Green's Leap Year Sales Event this weekend. Save up to $5,000 off MSRP on new Toyotas with our Green Saver coupon. Special APR offers available, including 0% APR on our most popular models. And get up to $2,000 customer cash on 13 different models. A Leap Year Sales Event. Only at Kentucky's #1 Toyota dealer 4 years running. Green's Toyota.
Great people, great cars, think Greens.
It's Big Blue Buckets at Kentucky Branded. Hey, when the Cats win, you win. Get 20% off in-store and online the day after a Cats victory. Fayette Mall next to Saul Good. Kentucky Branded, your home for all things Kentucky.
The all-new Lexus RX and RX Hybrid. Never has luxury been this expressive. Lease the 2016 RX 350 for $429 a month for 36 months. See your Lexus dealer.
WKYT First Alert severe weather days simply because we are dealing with such a wild weather ride out there. We've had winds greater than 40 miles an hour, a couple of power hits out there. Now we're getting ready to make the transition over to snow. Look at our sky cam. You could actually focus on Hamburg Pavilion. It's not dancing around as much as what we were seeing a little bit ago. We had winds that were greater than 40 miles an hour. We're back up to 39 out at the airport, 40 degrees current temperature, yet it feels like it is 29 degrees. Cold air is coming in from the west and the southwest. So we're colder Danville, Somerset, and Monticello than we are across northern Kentucky. That area of low pressure is to our northeast. Remember, kiddos, everything goes the opposite of your clock, counterclockwise flow around low pressure. So we're getting those winds to come in from the southwest, and that's where the colder air is coming from. So it's making a long trip around that storm system. Pushing 40 miles per hour right now into parts of the region. We've had winds today that have approached in a few isolated areas 50 miles an hour. There's our storm system. That's a powerful low pressure. You can see how the winds are coming around that low pressure. It's colder into Tennessee and North Georgia than it is into parts of the Ohio Valley right now. That's going to change, though, as that low continues to work its way across the Buckeye State, strengthening along the way. And here's the wraparound moisture in the form of some rain and some light snow. Defender Radar Network says this little band of moisture creeping into central Kentucky could have a wet snowflake thrown into the mix, and that's a sign of things to come. Ground is awfully warm. Temperatures really aren't going to get that cold tonight. Freezing-ish, 31, 32 degrees. So for snow to accumulate, it's really going to have to come down pretty hard for a while. And I think that will be the case. Grassy surfaces, some of the rooftops out there can pick up a coating to maybe an inch or two. Roads mainly going to be wet right on through tomorrow morning. A bridge or overpass may try to slicken up a little bit. Can we get some cancellations and delays? Yes. Does that mean you're going to have a cancellation or delay at your school? You do your homework tonight, obviously, to be on the safe side, kids. Computer models all are forecasting maybe an inch or two of snow. Now remember, these models forecast snowfall, not snow depth. So melting is included in a lot of those totals. For the evening ahead, temperatures drop to freezing. Rain will change over to snow. Already starting to see that. Periods of light snow overnight. Gusty winds that will roll into your Thursday. Those gusts may hit 40 miles an hour or a little better at times, even into tomorrow. Tomorrow's wind chills are going to be a whole lot colder. So that extended forecast, 34 degrees tomorrow. It will feel like it's in the teens at times because of the gusty wind. Still some flakes left over for Friday. Let's go into our Saturday and our Sunday. Can we make it 2 in a row where it feels pretty good? I think that's the case right now. Winds are going to gust up. I see a 60 in the mix on Sunday. We do get another cold front on Monday. That'll knock the temperatures down. We'll rebound again by the middle of next week. By the end of next week, we're likely to see temperatures take a little tumble. That's March in a nutshell around here. This March may be a little more amplified than normal with the bigger ups and the bigger downs.
Oh, no.
And right now it's all about the downs, though.
Let's just get through this one.
Yeah.
How about that?
I know. I came in at 60 degrees today. We're going to leave tonight from work, and it's going to be snowing out.
Chris, thank you.
You bet.
New tonight, state health leaders say Kentucky's Medicaid program faces major deficits as it tries to keep up with thousands of new enrollees.
Today, Health and Family Services Cabinet Secretary Vicki Yates Brown Glisson said the program has a $125 million deficit this year and a more than $600 million deficit over the next 2 years. The state is also losing 100% federal funding for expanded eligibility requirements. Glisson said her office would not cut benefits, programs, or employees, but she wouldn't say how the deficit would be made up.
Tonight, people who drive along Clays Mill Road in Lexington can learn more about the final phase of an improvement project there. Crews have been widening stretches of Clays Mill the last few years, and the final steps is improving a stretch between Waco Road and Harrisburg Road. An information meeting about the last phase of this project began at 6 tonight, and it continues until 8 at Lexington Catholic High School. And you can stop by and see displays and ask city leaders questions.
Well, it was a good sight to see Alex Poitras return to the court last night.
He was back, and did he ever look good? We will hear from Alex, and we will hear from UK legend Vern Hatton, one of the Fiddlin' Five. Last night he was honored again for what he did at Lafayette. Sports is next.
First Alert Weather is brought to you by Columbia Gas of Kentucky.
It's the Ashley Home Store Leap Year Sale. A sale so huge it only happens once every 4 years. For 4 days only, take up to 29% off your entire purchase. Buy this reclining sofa. Get the matching recliner for 29% off. Ashley Home Store. This is home.
At Gates Honda in Richmond, our grand opening will be low-key. No hot dogs, balloons, loud music, no gorillas. We have great deals waiting for you on over 100 new Hondas. At Gates Honda in Richmond, we sell new Hondas for less because we can.
Honey, would some Captain D's make you feel better?
Yeah.
When you love seafood this much,
Back again? I hope it's just a clumsy phase.
it's gotta be D's. Anything's worth it for our new homestyle flounder meal or double dozen shrimp. Also try our grilled menu featuring new Tuscan tilapia. For full meals starting at just $4.99, it's gotta be D's.
You do things to me I can't explain. You make me behave.
If you won Kentucky's Lucky for Life and got $1,000 a day in the mail for the rest of your life, you'd love your mailbox too.
Make time this spring to escape to Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, where the only thing you'll want to do is have fun in the sun. Let the sound of the ocean's tide take all your cares away and leave you refreshed to experience something new. It's your moment to let go and unwind on Myrtle Beach Time.
Let go and unwind on Myrtle Beach Time.
Farmer, Frankfurt outsider. That's Chuck Tackett. Pro-family and pro-business. Chuck Tackett rejects the notion by Washington liberals that the answer to every problem is another big government program. We can trust Chuck Tackett to put our families first by standing up to big government and big business. In the special election for state representative March 8th, send a message to the career politicians. Vote Chuck Tackett. Farmer, Frankfurt outsider.
At Gates Honda in Richmond, our grand opening will be low-key. No hot dogs, balloons, loud music, no gorillas. We have great deals waiting for you on over 100 new Hondas. At Gates Honda in Richmond, we sell new Hondas for less because we can.
Don't miss the Leap Year Sale on now at Ashley Home Store. For 4 days only, purchase any premium mattress and get a second queen mattress for only $29. Or pay no interest for 4 years. Ends Monday. Ashley Home Store. This is home.
Alex Poitras returning to the court for the Cats last night, and he was on his game. Poitras receiving a huge ovation as he came in early on. He looked comfortable after missing 5 games with a knee injury. He immediately scored, finished with 14 points. Poitras has been through a lot, missing most of last season, but he said last night he didn't let this latest injury get him down.
I mean, because there's more to life than just basketball, there's other things you can focus off. I'm hurt, seen my little niece a couple times, so I mean, it helped me and everything like that.
I was really proud of him, and he could have stayed out a couple more days, and he knew the team needed him. He was sick over the Texas A&M. Like, he felt like I probably could have gone in and helped us, but he just wasn't quite there. So to have 1 day practice to do what he did, amazing.
I was trying to be aggressive from the start, getting the ball in the middle, just trying to make plays.
And next up for Kentucky, it is Vandy at Memorial Gym Saturday, tip-off 4 o'clock right here on WKYT. And immediately following the game, Wildcat wrap-up, highlights, post-game reaction, all on your home for UK Sports, WKYT. UK signee De'Aaron Fox, one of 5 finalists for the Naismith Trophy Boys High School Player of the Year. The others are Jason Tatum, Miles Bridges, Lonzo Ball, and Josh Jackson. They will announce the winner on March 10th. Vern Hatton won a national title at Kentucky back in 1958. Prior to that, a state championship for the Lafayette Generals in 1953. Last night, he received an unexpected honor. Prior to the Lafayette-Lexington Catholic game, Vern was presented a ring for being named the 1954 Kentucky High School Basketball Player of the Year, or Mr. Basketball, as it became known later. Presentation was moving for him.
Well, it's one of the greatest ones I've had. It's been 62 years since maybe I should have got, if I was only ever going to get one, but I kept sending them a check every year and telling them I needed one, and so finally they presented it to me 62 years later. I got it tonight, and I'm so proud of it. I really think it's a great honor. You exaggerate a little bit more every year on how good you were, and you keep thinking you were good, and maybe you weren't so good, but nevertheless, this ring says somebody thinks I'm pretty good.
He was pretty good, one of the Fiddlin' Five. Tomorrow night is senior night for the UK women. Janae Thompson, the lone senior this season. Coach Matthew Mitchell said today that early in her career, coach and player didn't always see eye to eye. But Mitchell credits his point guard for buying in and leading the Wildcats on and off the floor.
Really proud of her, her leadership. It's been significant for a team that, was weakened by the defections at the time, but now I think we're out on the other side stronger because of everything that we've gone through, and there's no way we'd be here without her leadership.
So I'm sure it'll be emotional tomorrow night as Kentucky wraps it up against Missouri at home on senior night. Sam Amber.
Thank you, Rob. And a final check of your first alert forecast is next.
And then on the CBS Evening News, a jury orders the world's biggest maker of healthcare products pay millions of dollars in a lawsuit.
This is Monster Jam. Kids tickets start at just $10. Coming to Rupp Arena this weekend.
Think of it as a 7-seat theater for an action-packed thriller. The all-new Audi Q7.
Are you planting a tree? Are you digging a garden? Are you digging a swimming pool? Are you putting up a mailbox? Always call 811 before you dig. It's not just a good idea, it's the law. Columbia Gas of Kentucky.
Everyone has their own tastes, and Kroger has something for the one who likes eating healthy, the one who loves to eat everything, and the one just learning to eat. From cleaning the plate to cleaning the house, you'll find a brand for everyone in your family. And because everyone loves to save money, our exclusive brands are affordable too. Delicious, delightful, and made just for you. Everything to make your everyday special with our family of brands at Kroger.
Window World, superior products
and professional installation at a guaranteed low price. When it comes to home remodeling,
a new door can make a huge complement to windows and siding.
That's why Window World, America's largest home remodeling company,
carries patio doors, entry doors, and storm doors.
All backed by our lifetime limited warranty and guaranteed low price.
Whether you're trying to make a statement
or you simply want the best value,
opportunity is knocking at Window World.
Window World, simply the best doors for less.
Cartown Kia USA wants you to pick your payment all month. Drive home a new 2016 Kia Soul for $0 down and only $199 a month. Bad credit or no credit, our specialists are standing by to get you approved today. Drive home a 2016 Soul, Forte, Optima, Sorrento, or Sedona today. Pick your payment all month long at Cartown Kia USA. 2016 Forte for as low as $209 a month. 2015 Optima for as low as $239 a month. And we'll buy your car for cash, even if you don't buy one from us.
Bluegrass Medical Aesthetics wants to help you on the path to wellness and healthy youthful aging. Hormone replacement, medically supervised weight loss, Botox, Kybella, and more. Located in Georgetown next to Qdoba. Visit us at bmaky.com.
The Jacuzzi Factory Truckload Sale is rolling in this Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Choose from over 30 models starting as low as $131 a month. Hurry in, because when the truck is gone, so are the savings. The Jacuzzi Factory Truckload Sale this weekend only at Steepleton on Regency Road.
Technology entire countries want to get their hands on. If they could ever catch you. The all-new Audi Q7.
A while back, you mentioned a yo-yo.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm starting to feel like one, especially the next 24 hours, right? With that temperature
That
drop.
yo-yo, by the way, right now is on its way down. It's going to take a few days before it bounces up. Hey, look at Defender Radar Network. Snow breaking out into parts of central Kentucky. Getting some snow reports from Mount Vernon, Rockcastle County, and points southwest from there. And that's a trend that settles on into town as we go through tonight and tomorrow. Ground is warm, so it's going to have to fight that warm ground. Still maybe a coating to a local inch or two is a possibility, especially on the grass.
Just enough to be messy for us,
Enough to be
right?
sloppy in the morning. That's right.
Thanks for watching tonight. We'll see you back here tonight at 11.
CBS Evening News with Scott Pelley is next.